this understanding of being able to work with our energy field in that emergent way, which means I don't have to have my life planned out. I don't have to be in control. I can soften worry and anxiety because I am training and refining my field that knows how to adapt and emerge and adapt and emerge and adapt and emerge. And my favorite initiation, both that I have over and over again and that I see in people when they come into this work, is the initiation where we realize, like, oh, the promise isn't that everything is good. The promise is that we are so profoundly powerful that we can move with whatever emerges. And there's this like incredible field of synchronicities that allows us to just keep rocking and rolling. And I think especially right now, it feels crazy out there. Um, and what would it be like to live from the place that you go, none of that matters? Because I have a field that knows how to find coherence and emerge the next solution, emerge the next step, emerge the next step, you know? So yeah, it's going to do what it's going to do. But I work this incredible machinery that is my birthright. And that's how I've been thinking about energy a lot lately. So today, what I want to play with is this architecture of energy. This is a system that I teach called integrative energy mapping. And when I teach it in its full form, or as I've taught it the past few years, um, it's a lot of info that we learn. It's a lot of muscle testing that we learn. There's a system that we learn, and there's a wonderful use for that. Today, we're going to work in a felt field, and we're going to think of this as a way that we can understand how collections or organizations of vibration can be kind of arranged in our field, and how we can let the felt sense pull us toward different organizations of energy that have the solution or the support that we need given the present moment, right? So if I'm here and I'm at the center of this mechanism of vibration and energy that is my being, and that mechanism of vibration and energy is also connected to all these different organizations of energy. Life comes at me, and if I'm training my attunement, life comes and my system goes, over here. We got something over here. This is what we need for this, right? Or my system says, yeah, we can let that in. We can handle that because we're going to pull back here. We're going to pull something forward that's going to help digest that, right? Or my system goes, oh, over here. Over here is the support we need to meet this moment. So every moment comes, and I have this kind of alchemical chamber that can move with it. And there's like tears and tears of it. And the real, like, both mastery but party is when we're just like, oh, hell yeah, I know what to do with that. Oh, hell yeah, I know what to do with that. Bring it on, bring it on. My mantra sometimes through time, like that ability to alchemize life, my mantra for it is like, free money, baby, free money. Come at me. What do you got? I can convert that into something useful for me. I can convert that into something useful for me. And that's the only freedom I've found yet. That to me is the definition of freedom I'm working with lately, is like no control, total presence and alignment to meet what comes, not just to handle it, but to make something cool and beautiful and juicy and prosperous out of it even. So we're gonna play, and I want it to be play today. We're gonna treat it as play. I like to come into spaces like this like a little scientist. Like put on your little scientist nerd glasses. We're in the lab space. We're exploring energy. There is not a right or wrong way to do this, and everything that we experience always has some medicine in it for us. I'm gonna pause there before we really get into it. All right. Take a little breath, wiggle the body, shake something through. Burp if you need to. Man, I've gotten so, like, I just burp so aggressively on these sessions now. And I realized years ago, I used to try to be a little delicate about it. And lately that filter has gone. And then every once in a while, I'll be letting out these huge belches. And I'm like, I don't know, should I should I be a little bit more presentable? But it's energy. Yeah, good. I think you guys are down. So I want to level set and yes, thank you. I want to level set a relationship to perception for us all before we go into this, because we have many layers, and almost sometimes I think of it as densities of perception, and all of us have different ones. And some of us have these layers or densities of perception that you haven't come to think of as perception. So when you go into energy practices, you think you're doing it wrong, or you think your mind is just wandering, and there's a secondary narrator that comes in and goes, see, I can't do it, I can't do it, because no one level set with you, hey, that's actually how your system is perceiving energy right now. So I want to level set that for us right here. So take a couple breaths, let your body just do what it wants to do. And I'm going to bring into the field the color blue. The color blue. And even as you hear me say the color blue, I want you to notice the first way that your system connects to that or associates to that color blue. Maybe you see it, right? Maybe you can see the color blue, or a wash of blue comes into your visual field. Maybe you think of something that is blue. Maybe you even just think the word blue. Maybe you have an emotion that comes up, or a memory. Some people, it's even a taste or a smell that comes up associated with blue. And you might notice a few of them. So just kind of scan through. What are all the different ways that your system associates to blue? And kind of take your time with each one. You can almost let them expand a little bit. Notice the ones that feel really front and center and available to you. And notice ones, or notice where you might want to be experiencing blue in a certain way, but it's not how it comes to you. Just take a big breath, let that one soften and release. And we'll try it again with yellow this time. Actually, yeah, sure, yellow. Yellow. So, how does your system perceive yellow? Is it a visual? Is it a thought or knowing? Is it an emotion or a sensation in your body? You can take a nice full breath, let that one kind of dissolve and release. And we're going to do it one more time. This time, apple. How does your system perceive apple? And when it feels right, you can let that one soften and release. Is anyone surprised by the main senses that showed up? Or did anyone notice themselves kind of fighting to perceive one way or fighting against how you were naturally perceiving? Aurora, stop trying to see with your eyes and see it. Yeah, interesting, Shelley, right? It can surprise us. It's nice to like kind of keep an open mind to how perception can come through. I like to do this level set not to like be like this is how you perceive, but so that you can feel hopefully that there's different ways that energetic information comes in for us. And everyone wants to see. Clairvoyance is like the sexiest thing, and everyone wants to see. And many of us perceive in different ways, and you will be fighting against the perception, energetic intel that's coming in, because you're expecting it to be one way. You're like, I need to see something. Meanwhile, there's all this sensation happening in your body, and your body's saying, just drop into the sensation, right? Or for a lot of people, you might be mental perceivers, at least in the beginning. And your mind starts chattering and you're thinking about a grocery store in your neighborhood and you're going, why am I thinking about a grocery store? I'm getting distracted. See, I'm not doing the energy work right. And meanwhile, if you sat with that thought about the grocery store, there might have actually been a piece of intel in there. That is how the energy was using your mind to get your attention to help move some intel in. And that's so much of our practice today is going to be how are we available to receive the intel of the energy? So as we go through, notice all body learning. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Totally. I had a teacher once who was all body. She felt things, but she could describe it to you. She'd be like, there's a pink fuzzy thing in the corner. So you're like, oh, so you see? She's like, I don't see, I feel. But I feel it as pink and I feel it as fuzzy, right? It's not visual, but it's as detailed as that because she let herself be with how the information is communicating with her. Blue and yellow had songs, apple had a taste. Yes, yes, yes. So it's not important that we know our languages because our languages evolve and change all the time. It's not important that we have one language over another. They're all valid languages. What's really powerful is if you can just start to track any places where you want to judge or wrestle with what's actually happening, right? So if your mind is wandering and then you want to judge that the mind is wandering, pause and be like, what if my mind wandering is how the information is getting to me right now? Can I get curious about that? Right? Oh, my chest just got contracted. It's too much energy. I must be uncomfortable with this, right? There was a sensation and then we judge it, or we can go, interesting. I'm really uncomfortable in my chest right now. I'm going to sit with that and breathe with that and get curious. And maybe that's how the energy is talking to me in this moment and in this practice. Same with visual, same with everything. And it can change, right? Like Shelley's like, oh, I'm such a word person, but it all came through as visual. Yeah. Yeah. So just let me get quiet for a minute. As we go today, if at any point you have to pause and you want to re-level set yourself, that's a great way to do it. If I'm guiding a practice and you're getting jumbled up, just pause, take yourself out and be like, blue. Where's blue? Red. Where's red? Let me re-attune my perception. And now I'll go back in and see if I can be available for how things come through. The other like last little tip I'll give before we go into this is that at any time things feel tight, and it usually feels tight because we're either trying to figure it out or we're trying to track something too tightly. If the sensation is tight, mind, body, anywhere, take a big breath and imagine just getting bigger than it. Being like, I don't have to understand this. I just have to be available to it. Cool. Okay. I'm going to invite you to get a little bit more comfortable. You are going to want to stay alert, but let yourself get a little comfortable here because we're going to start to go on a bit of an exploration. And like I've said, I have my plans and then the energy is my boss and tells me to do things. So I sat and I'm like, okay, we're ready to go in. And as I started to drop into my body, there's a really strong sensation in my belly. It's a sensation I know well related to my working with energy. And the energy is like, hey, let's work with this. Let's work with what's here rather than pushing past to our planned exercise. So I have an energy pattern in my body when I'm in group spaces where, because my body is my first perceiver from the time I was a child, my body can still have a habit of trying to kind of just like grabbing up energy. And then it'll start to show up as like a bit of a bloaty belly or like I call it a bubble in my belly. That bubble's showing up here. And rather than pushing past it, I'm going to let this start to presence the system that we're going to work in. And I'm going to guide us all in it in a minute, but I'm going to just verbally talk through me letting this work on my belly here. So there's something present. I'm familiar with this sensation. But rather than rush past it, we're going to invite this larger field of energy to guide my attention. So right away, it kind of guides me to a corner. We're going to talk about this corner in a minute, where there's a frequency available that's just going to help move the energy for me so that my little body's not trying to move it for me. I'm going to wait and listen for it's a Reiki symbol that's going to come through. And I'm going to let this symbol of energy come and just work in my belly here for a minute. And the energy's kind of being like, yeah, we can help you. You don't have to hold this. My little body has a habit of trying to pick stuff up, but this larger force of energy can come in. I can let it move through my body and be like, hey, we got this. And so as I feel that moving through my body, I'm going to start to presence us. So wherever you are, however you're positioned, however you're feeling your body, become aware of your weight on the chair or the surface you're sitting on. Become aware of the space in 360 around you. So there's often an easy awareness to the space in front of us, but what about to the sides of you, behind you, beneath you, and above you? Can you become aware of a kind of 360 sphere that's around you in every direction? And maybe you'll let your body and energy get a little bit bigger with that. Maybe you'll breathe and expand into that sphere. And we're going to presence some fields or some planes of energy that we're going to be working with. And as I guide us through here, just notice how you respond. Notice what perception comes up as I bring these different pieces into awareness. So we'll start above us. There's like a dome, almost like an electric grid domed above us. Just become aware of that. Become aware of the dynamic between you and this dome of electricity above you. And we'll become aware of the space below us. It's almost kind of like this bubbling cauldron of energy below us. And notice the relationship between you and this kind of bubbling energy beneath you. There's a collection or an organization of energy directly in front of you. It may show up visually, or you might just feel something or perceive in one of those other ways. What's the relationship between you and this field of energy directly in front of you, or organization of energy? There's a void or a vacuum of energy directly behind you. How does your system respond to that? What perceptions show up when you shift your attention directly behind you? To your right, there's a field or an organization of energy, a collection of energies to your right. Notice what perceptions come in with that. And there's a collection or an organization of energies to your left. Notice how your body or your perception responds to that. And maybe we let ourselves shift almost above ourselves, or just expand our awareness a little bit and notice again we have a collection of energies in front of us, a collection to our right, a collection to our left, and then a void or a vacuum of energy behind us. And just take a breath into that. Notice what stirs. You don't have to track it. You can just notice how your body's responding to this template, how your perception is responding to this template. So you can draw some awareness back into your body, into the present. Maybe let a couple of breaths, big, deep breaths roll through your body and really feel yourself land back in the center of you. And we're being called to play with the collection of energies to our right. You don't have to know what it is. Just start to feel, some of you might even feel your body lean to the right. You might feel your energy and attention gently drift to the right. You may feel like either you are going to kind of take a step to your right and step into this collection of energies, or you may feel like these energies move into you from your right. as you are allowing yourself to connect with these energies, this bubble of energy to your right, let the breath deepen and let the awareness soften, and just start to notice what's bubbling up. There's a transmission of information coming in. Your job is not to track it, but to get curious about how your system is perceiving. What do you notice? From this zone to your right, whether you've stepped into it or it has stepped into you, it's this collection, these organizations of energy, and there might be one specific vibration that kind of jumps out or moves into your being. One wave form of energy. How does your system perceive this shift? You can take a nice, complete breath. You can imagine gently pulling yourself back into the center of your being. Maybe this field to your right creates a little space and distance again. You're back at the center of these kind of points of awareness that we started in. And whatever moved, whatever just exchanged between you and this right direction, it's all still there. Maybe it's even still working and moving. But we now are feeling our awareness, maybe our body and our energy pulled forward to this field or organization of energy that's directly in front of us. Maybe we feel our body leaning forward, or maybe we feel like this energy from in front of us comes and steps in. Let your breath scoop up underneath this and just start to notice what is stirring. What's this relationship between you and this force field of energies from in front of you that is stepping in or stepping forward to support? And if you're feeling any strong sensation or intensity anywhere at any time, see what happens if you really let your awareness just draw close to the intensity. Once again, there's an exchange of energy that's begun between you and this forward direction. And the energy knows how to keep working for you. We're going to let our awareness draw back to center, and we actually might right away feel ourselves being pulled backward. So the body is being pulled to the direction behind us. Our awareness and our attention is drawn backward. And if we'll remember back here, there's a void or a vacuum of energy. What happens when we let ourselves lean back and merge with that void space? How do you perceive here? Can take a nice full breath. Let yourself draw your both physical presence and awareness back to center. You can wiggle or shake if that feels interesting. And we're going to stay in this kind of dream space, but I'm going to just gently call us back and create a moment to check in. Okay, we're going to keep going. So you can bring your awareness back. You may start to notice we're kind of positioning ourselves in the center of almost like a spherical compass, right? There's a dome of electricity above us. There's a bubbling force field of energy beneath us. We've named this field or orb of light in front of us, to our right, to our left, and a vacuum or a void behind us. So take a minute and let your system just kind of feel those dimensions: above, below, forward, backward, side, side. Just feel yourself in a space where something, a force, a collection of energy and information is in relationship to you from these directions: above, below, forward, backward, side, side. I should have mentioned, by the way, when we're doing energy work, if your body ever needs to wiggle or move, do it, right? When I presenced that awareness, my whole body was like, oh, I got to open and feel that. Ooh. We're going to bring in 4 more pieces because, of course, we have the kind of cross quarter ways on a compass. We might call that, right? The the northwest, the southwest, right? The northeast, the southeast, the in between directions. So behind you at your diagonal, right? If we were on a compass, we would call that southwest and southeast. At the diagonal of your shoulders behind you, there's 2 more orbs of energy, collections of energy. Just feel that behind you. Feel a bit of a pulse of energy behind your right shoulder, behind your left shoulder. And then in front of you to the diagonal, northwest, northeast, 2 more voids or vacuums of energy. And if your mind is wrestling to track all this right now, soften, give it a breath. Because we've named it, it's here for you. Your body and your energy already knows it. So this time we're going to let you move a little uniquely. You're positioned at the center. There's all these directions of energy and information around you. You don't have to have them memorized. If your mind is scrambling to play catch up, give it a breath and let it slide off. It's already here. And your body and energy knows that. And your body might even be starting to lean in a certain direction, or you feel your attention pulled in a certain direction. And I want you to lean with that pull, and just start to notice an exchange of energy that happens between you and one of these directions, not knowing anything about it. And on your next wave of breath, you might feel your body or your awareness suddenly kind of pulled in a new direction, drifting toward another area of this compass. And all you have to do is notice what you notice. Notice an exchange building. On the next breath, you're going to feel your attention and maybe even your body movement or body awareness pulled in another direction. And this time it's as if some kind of energy is passed to you from this direction and it wants to move either up or down. So from these outer realms of the sphere, something passes into you, and then you feel compelled to either hand it up to that electric grid above you or pass it down into that bubbling energy beneath you. Notice how your system wants to do that. Notice how you perceive that. Maybe you find your body or your attention pulled toward another zone of the compass, and same thing. Something passes to you, and you feel compelled to either hand it up to the grid above you or pass it down to the bubbling energy beneath you. And as always, if ever you're trying to do it, don't do that. Take a nice, easy breath. Let your body do it for you. Let your energy do it for you. Give that mind a little pat and go, good job. You're doing such a good job. But we're going to let you get soft. We're going to see what happens when someone else leads. Ooh. And one final little play here. Draw your awareness and your presence back to center. Become aware of these directions all around you. You don't have to remember what they all are. You just know that you're held at the center of this kind of multi-dimensional compass that connects you and helps you organize all of the frequencies of the universe. No big deal. I'm going to gently invite you to bring to mind one of those burdens that you set down at the top of our call. One of those things that you were coming in with that you were like, man, I really can't figure this one out and it's pissing me off. It's clenching up my energy. I'm trying to control this. I'm worried about this. It could be a big thing or a small thing. Draw that to your awareness. Imagine drawing it to the center of the compass with you. And it's kind of like we're giving this little problem child our full love and attention. Like, hey, you're center stage, babe. This is your moment. You get all my love now. And with this challenge or burden at the center of the compass with you, you are aware now that you're surrounded by all these different directions and dynamics of support. So, how does your body or your attention start to lean now? How does your system know that there's something in one of these quadrants that has help for your challenge? And you don't have to know what it is, just follow the impulse. Let your body or your awareness lean in a certain direction and notice the exchange. Take a nice full breath and let the breath remind your body that everything that has moved has had incredible wisdom to it, even if your mind hasn't been clocking it all. And let your breath remind your body that it's all there. Your body has it, your energy has it. You don't have to keep track of what moved, you don't have to keep track of what you experienced. Even if your mind was racing the whole time, your system has moved something and it's there for you. And you can pull your presence and breath back into your center and back into your body. And maybe you kind of let this multi-dimensional compass kind of drift away or dissolve, or sometimes it feels like it like collapses into my body, like it's some kind of pop-up that then I can close up. It's back inside of me now. Take your time making your way back to our shared space.